A new report from the international aid agency World Vision reveals global food prices remain high and people in the poorest nations are affected the most. According to an analysis of food prices in September of last year, a basket of food that costs 1.5 hours of wages in Australia, Ireland, or Singapore costs the average person in Burundi the equivalent of 36 days' wages and 25 days in the Central African Republic. Hannah Chargin is Senior Policy Advisor for Food Security and Water for World Vision and joins us now with more. Hannah, what countries are experiencing the highest food prices and why?
Yeah, so our analysis showed that 9 of the top 10 countries experiencing the highest food prices compared to average wages were concentrated in Africa. And so the poorest countries facing simultaneous crises are compounding what we already know to be a hunger crisis.
Hannah, 35 million people experience emergency hunger conditions. It's hard to fathom. Describe exactly what they're facing and how do they survive these conditions?
Yeah, so that categorization is really one category away from starvation. You think about people who are on the move, children are not in school in these settings, and they need oftentimes malnutrition interventions. So things like ready to use therapeutic food to literally save their lives.
What is the impact on the children who live in these conditions?
When a child is hungry or malnourished, they're not going to meet those physical health milestones or those mental development milestones that we would expect of them. So it really creates a lifelong impact for these children if we don't respond quickly and get them the life-saving resources that they need.
And I know World Vision is working to remedy this. What kind of funding is needed to help keep these children alive and give them the food that they need to grow up and be healthy?
Yeah, so I think, it's important for individuals like you and I to be aware of the situation that's going on around the globe, to support organizations like World Vision who are on the ground in these hard to reach places. But it's also on us to advocate with our elected officials that these are issues that are important to us, and we want the United States to strongly respond to the growing need to step up financially and respond to the need that we're seeing on the ground.
And do you know how much of those funds are actually available or tangible, and how can we bridge the shortfall?
Sure. So right now there's about an estimated 39 to 50 billion annual price tag to reduce 3.7 million deaths in children under the age of 5. And right now only 3.9 billion has been put towards interventions that achieve these goals since 2015. So there is a serious lack of funding. And so it's important, again, for folks to join our advocate community. We have a great advocate community where individuals from around the United States can build relationships with their members of Congress and say, these issues are important to me. I want to see funding included in these packages that will support these children around the world.
And Hannah, as Christians, why are we responsible, I guess you could say, to do more to help the needy?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, a lot of the times when we're here in the United States, we look at the needs around the globe. It feels overwhelming. We don't feel like we're not necessarily the ones that can be in the field assisting children, passing out food, but there are things that we can do here. We feel called by our faith to act. There are practical steps that can be taken to save lives and to get children to a place where they can survive and thrive and enjoy life to the fullest. And that's the wonderful thing about partnering with an organization like World Vision. We have staff on the ground who are assessing the community's needs. What does that community need in particular to make that community successful, to help those families and the children succeed.
So many of us just take our next meal for granted, but not in many parts of Africa and other parts of the world. Hannah Chargin of World Vision, thanks so much for what you all are doing, and thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.